Hi everybody. I'm going live today to talk about sponsoring and recruiting. Well, actually, yeah, sponsoring, recruiting, and basically just a skeleton in a nutshell. I'm going to try to do it quick so that we are not having to watch so many long lives and trainings, because I know we're busy and I know there's a lot going on, but everybody that's coming on here live has so much important information to share, and we just want you guys to just soak it all in, be a sponge, and then go out there and like squeeze out that sponge from everything you're learning. I'm at the field, so I'm in my husband's car this week. If you guys know anything about softball, we are at PGF for my daughter's tournament. PGF is the biggest tournament of the year, so it's hard to not be at the field during this time. I'm trying to see, hold on. If you're watching live, say hello, comment. I don't know if I can see the comments or not. My Instagram is, my Facebook is funny sometimes, and right now I don't think, there they go, they're coming up now. Okay, hi Liz. Okay, so we're gonna jump in and talk about sponsoring and recruiting, and yes, they are very different things in my opinion. Hi Tara. In my opinion, well, let me introduce myself first. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rihanna Franco. I'm a superstar director for Squad Goals out of Whittier, California, and I am part of the SSDs that are doing this program for you guys, and we are so excited to see you guys win, and we're going for record-breaking numbers of people earning this trip this year, and your SSD has invited you because they believe in you, and they want to see you win. So here we go, right? Hi, Courtney. You played softball too, 14 years. Me too, girl. I played from when I was 4 years old till I was 14. I did not get anywhere as close as where my girls are, but yeah, it's one of my favorite things, and I'm sad that it's almost over because she's already going into 14U next year. Hi, Megan. Hi, Dana. Okay, so sponsoring and recruiting goes hand in hand. You cannot be successful with sponsoring if you're not doing recruiting, and you cannot be successful with recruiting if you're not doing sponsoring, and I'll explain the difference between the two and why they're so important, especially during this incentive trip, because we all seen, right? The only part of the trip that you do not need to sponsor for is level 1, which will get you an SFR trip to a registration paid for SFR in Utah next year, right? Okay, so, but if you want any part of this Alaskan trip, you need to have sponsoring under your belt, okay? And you need to bring in your people, you need to help your people grow. So, recruiting and sponsoring is a lifestyle. Okay, so if you're committing to saying, you know what, I want to build a team, and not just build a team to earn a trip, but build a team to actually help others be successful, okay, and to win in their journey with Sensi as well. Hi, Melanie. So recruiting and sponsoring is the act of bringing people in. You're actually going out and about and trying to find people, right? That's sponsoring, that's recruiting. I also consider sponsoring a different type of mentorship, okay? So mentoring them. Once you get them in, now what? It's not just you throw them in and you leave them to figure things out. Yes, you guys, we are independent consultants. I'm very big on not hand-holding, and any of my teammates could tell you that. I don't hand-hold. However, I do teach my leaders in our group that if you're going to bring people in, you are responsible to make sure that they have training, make sure that they have the community, and we're going to talk about that in the second part of this training. I'm going to try to run through this fast because my daughter starts playing in a little while, and I was supposed to get this training done this morning, but such is life. So here we go. Okay, so you guys, recruiting is the hardest thing to do, the most challenging thing to do in this business. Can I get an amen? It's the hardest thing, but it's the most rewarding part of this business. Why? How do you figure? You know, I get a good check when I sell, yes. But if you want longevity in this business, you guys, in Sensi, then you need to build a team. If you want a no ceiling type of income, then you need to start building a team, because look, you can add all the PRV you want. You're going to cap out eventually. You're not going to have $10,000 months, $15,000 months, $20,000 months for PRV all the time. It may happen here and there. Hi, Gina. It may happen here and there when we have fundraisers or big group things. But once we start adding teamies, we begin to create a no ceiling type of income. And that, you guys, is huge. And I'm talking about, okay, so we're in this group of the whole Alaskan adventure trip thing, right? Yes. But the main reason that why Scentsy gears towards PRV and recruiting and sponsoring is because that is how you grow your business. So they have intentionality behind it. It's not just, oh, do this and earn a trip. The bigger picture behind it, you guys, is that we are building a solid foundation, the 3 foundational pieces for our business: sponsoring, recruiting, recruiting, and sales. Okay. So it's the most challenging, yes, but it is the most rewarding. I have my notes down here, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. Now, let me get this out of the way before, because I know a lot of us, when we say we want the trip, but then we're like, oh God, everybody said no already, and I don't know how to approach people, and oh, it's too hard. Those are all excuses. Are they valid, like, thoughts? Absolutely. But if we're letting them paralyze us, if we're letting them keep us at bay or discourage us, then they become excuses, because every single one of those things can be overcome. So let me knock out these excuses first and foremost with you guys for sponsoring, because I know some of you guys are watching this grudgingly, and I know some of you are watching this like, oh God, I don't know how this is going to work, or I probably already tried this. Like, when you're watching this, maybe you have a little bit of a fear, because when you see that word recruiting or when you see that word sponsoring, it kind of shakes you up a little bit, right? Especially if you're new, especially if you don't have a team yet, or especially if your team is kind of not working right now. But we're going to address that too. So you might think like, oh, I've been there, done that, tried that. But guess what? That's an excuse. So if you're saying it's too hard, I want you to understand it is hard. Your feeling of it being not easy, or oh, this is kind of like out of my comfort zone. It's 100% out of our comfort zone. I was never naturally a recruiter, but I love it. It's my favorite topic to talk about, and it's one of the things that I enjoy most, mentoring and bringing new people in to see them win, right? It is hard, but hard things, once you overcome once, and you overcome again, and you overcome again, then you get stronger and stronger as a person, and more bold and more confident, and that's just what happens. Look, are you going to be told yes all the time? No, you're going to hear more no's than yeses. But once you get comfortable in your no skin, then you're not worried about anything else, right? If people tell you no, you're just like, okay, cool. In my mind, it's just a not right now, or maybe she doesn't understand completely. I haven't really address all of her current concerns, but I'll revisit that in a little while, because I don't want to pressure her, right? So when somebody tells you no, it's simply because they're not ready yet, they don't understand fully yet, or they don't see the benefit in it yet. You're not going to die if somebody tells you no. So it's hard, yes, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever's watching. These things to recruit is hard, 100%, or else, you know what? If it wasn't, we'd have everybody on the ship, and the stakes wouldn't be as high if everybody can do it just like that, right? But guess what? You can do it if you really want to, if you put your mindset to it, and you dig deep and learn from the people that are going to train you this week, or this month actually, and just take notes and work with what works for you. Okay? So how about everybody's already said no? And we laugh about this in the squad, because we had somebody say that about 2 years ago to me, and she's like, everybody says no to me. I already asked everybody, and already everybody said no. And I'm just like, really? You asked everybody in the entire world and they said no? Because that's weird, because I'm still asking people, and I'm getting no's, but I'm also getting some yeses. So it may feel, you guys, like, oh God, everybody is saying no. It may genuinely feel like that, 100%, like everybody in your circle, maybe, everybody that you've asked lately, maybe, but not everybody in the world has said no, because you haven't asked everybody in the world. Guess what? You may see like, oh, well, how am I supposed to access? Girl, I'm going to tell you. Boy, I'm going to tell you right now how to go about your life in a sponsoring type of life, a recruiting type of lifestyle. Okay. Or you get some of the people, I don't know how to approach. I don't know how to start a conversation. Okay. And that's okay. 100%. I don't want you to think that, oh, well, I'm supposed to naturally be good at this. No, you know what? I wasn't naturally good at it. And there's a lot, I would say 80% of the people in my team were not naturally good at it, but they took notes, they came under, they looked, they listened, they trained, they wrote, they were involved, and then they began to take steps. Because guess what? Everybody says, well, how do I do it? Oh my God, well, how do I just approach somebody? How do you just be confident? You just do it. The only way to do it is to do it. There's no secret pill. There's no confidence injection. There's nothing that you're going to come across where you're going to be like, oh, that's the answer. No, the answer is going to be just, you know what? I have this scent circle. And by the way, you guys, I told you I'm at the field, right? I have my packets already ready to hand out. And I brought 6 of them. My goal here at the field, and this is going to lead into talking about being prepared, which I'm going to talk about next. I have these, right? So just say I'm you and I'm not comfortable. I'm scared. I don't know how to approach. I'm going to look at this baby and I'm going to say, you know what? You're getting into somebody's hands today, and I don't care how uncomfortable I feel. I don't care how awkward I feel. I don't care if I fumble over my words, but I'm going to get this into somebody's hands today. You have to tell yourself that you're going to get it done because nobody's going to do it for you. And that's just what it comes down to. And you may not know me outside of this group of what you know when I introduce myself. I'm a hard ass, to be honest. Excuse the language, but I do it through love, and I do it because I know once you begin to take those steps out of your fear and be courageous, because you can only be courageous if you're doing something that's fearful, right? In your skin. So once you begin to take those steps, then you see progress. If you're going to stay stuck, then nobody can help you. Only you can help yourself. Okay. And that's 100%. Hi, Selena. That's 100% the truth. Nobody's going to do it for you, and you will remain in your same spot if you do not take that step out. And that's going to get these babies in your purse, whatever. I'm jumping ahead. Okay. So the whole, I don't know how to approach, you just do it. And we're going to talk about a little bit about that right now. So you need to live a life of sponsoring, or a recruiting lifestyle. And I've talked about this a little bit in other lives that I've done, but it's so important. And what do you mean, Rihanna, when you say living a sponsoring lifestyle or a recruiting lifestyle? You need to be 100% prepared. If you have not yet, one of my best practices in my business is, you guys, on August 1st, or any first of the month, I sit down and I stock up all of my samples. I make sure I have at least 10 of these in my bag at all times, in my glove compartment, in my gym bag, wherever I'm going, in my backpack, wherever I'm going. I make sure to have samples, scent circles, my business QR codes, all that stuff, right? You're at the mall, salon, giving packets and samples. Exactly. And I'm going to talk about exactly what you just said right now, Selena. Living a life of sponsoring means that you are prepared at any given moment to put your information, to put your business, to put your opportunity in somebody's hand. How many times have we been out and about and we have said, damn it, I wish I had a card, or oh, I didn't bring my samples, or oh, I wish I had a circle. We have control over that. We have 100% control of that. If we stock up our purses today, I don't care if you're not going anywhere today, stock it up. That way you don't forget when you're running a million miles an hour to get the kids to school, or to go get the groceries, or whatever we do as mom and dad and brother and sister and all the roles we play. Put them in your backpack, put them in the diaper bag, put them in the purse, put them in your glove compartment, put 3 or 4 of each, 5 or 6 of each. I don't care. Put them in there. And on your little things, never, ever, ever hand out product without your information on it. Okay, so on my circles, you guys, I have my social media info and my phone number and website and email address. Okay, so on the circle, and then on the little tear sheet, the product list, I have my, where is it at? I have my information there too. I don't care if you guys put these together and you're like, oh, I just have to stamp one, because guess what? These might end up separate at some point. This might end up somewhere left and somebody's gonna be like, oh, what is this? And they don't have your information. Guess who they're gonna contact? They're gonna go on Scentsy.com and they're gonna find the very first person that's local to them. Take it away. It's yours. That's your product. You invested the time and energy, right? Okay, so make sure that you are always prepared. If you have not yet, it's okay. Go do it right now. Go make your samples. If you're not using your host credit, you guys, and party credit or half offs for scent circles and product stuff that you can sample and you can put in goodie bags. If you have not started using that yet, you need to start doing it now. Be smart with it. I understand. Treat yourself to your warmer that you want because you're working hard and that's part of your reward. But if you're trying to build a business and if you're trying to earn stuff that's not out of your pocket, be smart with your rewards and get circles. Get dryer discs. I open the dryer disc box, I tear them in two, and that becomes 2 gifts, 2 inserts. I'm going a whole different direction. I'm going to show you guys my packets when I get home of what I make. But if you are watching this and you want to share what you put in your packets that you hand out to people, please do. This is just a little thing that I'm doing for the field. Other things like opportunity packets that I'm going to jump into, those are completely different. And I will show you what's inside of them because I want you to get a visual, because I don't have them here with me because they would have melted. Okay, so always being prepared, having your product made in with you at all times. All times. I don't care where you're going, you need them. Doctor's office, Target, Starbucks. I'm going to get into that. Okay, and that's going to lead to the next part of creating our own opportunities. Now, everybody loves Scentsy, right? But I don't remember the last time somebody showed up at my door and was like, Rihanna, can I join your team? Hello, can I join your team? I don't remember the last time somebody was knocking at my door telling me they want to join. There's been people that have reached out to me that I have never spoken to about the opportunity. Sorry, my dog's getting anxious. And they've come to me and they've joined my team 100%. But it hasn't happened one time yet where somebody came to my door and asked me to join my team. So what does that mean? That means that we have to learn to create opportunities. I know, right, Selena? In the perfect world, yes. I'm like, okay, can I have 3 come to the door today? No, it's not real life. How do we create opportunities? This is where I'm talking about when we're ready, right? So now we're ready. How do we create the opportunity? And this goes in line with how do we approach people? How do we even go about getting to talk to people, right? Okay, when I get home, I'm going to post a picture of a packet that I have that says, you impressed me. And it's an image that I made with my face on it. And it says something about, wow, your customer service is amazing, and I'm always looking for people just like you to be part of the team. We have so much fun, I include my information on it. I think I have it in my Canva, so I can actually post the picture, but I want to post later when I get home today to show you what's actually in that packet. But anyways, what do I do with the You Impress Me packet? When I'm going through Starbucks drive-thru, you can go through the drive-thru, you can go get out and go to the cashier, whatever, I don't care. You can go through on a bike, go through on a ship, on a UFO, I don't care how you go, just go. So you're going to the register, right? You're paying for your drink. And they're like, oh, how are you? Okay, your drink total. Oh my gosh. You know what? Can I give you something? I know you're in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. Can I give you this packet? Your smile, your customer service is amazing. And I'm always looking for people just like you. Take a minute. Look at that. There's a little gift for you to put in your car, hang from your mirror. And I want to get your feedback on it. Can I get your phone number real quick? You guys, I have my phone on a little mount every single place I go, right? So oh yeah, sure. Here, all I do is swipe up, go into my notes, add her phone number, and then put a note, Starbucks cashier. And it makes it more easier, like, oh my God, you're actually asking for her number? Yes, I am, because I don't want to be giving out these empty leads. I don't want to give people my product and hope that they call me back. 9 out of 10 times, they're not going to reach back out to me because they're like, they'll forget about me, or they're embarrassed, or they don't know what to say. We don't know what people, their personalities. So I'm taking the guesswork out of it. I give her the packet, and then she gives me her name and her name and number, and then I'll follow up in about 2 days, and I'll say, hey, Starbucks girl, whatever her name is. I'm not going to say Starbucks girl, but that's what I'm naming her today. Hey, Starbucks girl, this is Rihanna Franco. I met you through the Starbucks drive-thru. I'm so excited to get your feedback. What did you think about the information I left with you? Have you had a chance to look at it? They're, number one, either going to ignore me 100%, and it's going to be awkward because most of the time it's local Starbucks people, and I'm like, hey girl, you ignored me last text. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. But they're either gonna ignore me, they're going to be like, oh, I loved it. Okay, great, you loved it. So now that opens that opportunity, that door for me to start talking about the opportunity that I left, the information that I left, because the opportunity packet in there is saying, you impress me, you can do what I do, and it breaks down my story. It has, I want to show you guys what's in it. You impress me has that insert, it has a scent circle, it has the you should be part of us join insert flyer that's through the consultant store, it has my story, it has a compensation plan, and it has a couple other samples in there. Hi Donna. Okay, so that I planted that seed. I don't know what these Starbucks people are thinking. I don't know if this is their full-time job. I don't know if they're a student. I don't know if they're falling on hard times. I just know that that's a seed that I just planted, and I am 100% prepared to talk to her about it, right? Hi, Kathy. Okay, next one. What if somebody mentioned it, and this is something that I love. Dana mentioned it, I believe, the Excuse Busters pack. You have so many people that you've talked to, right? Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I'm too busy with the kids. Oh, I don't have money for the kit. Yeah, that's Flacco. This is my dog. We're here waiting to get out the field. Excuse Busters packets. If you have somebody that says, oh, you know what, I'm too busy, say, you know what, can I put a little packet together for you? That's fine. You're busy. I 100% understand, but I would love to get this packet into your hands and see what you think after you get it. And then you break it down into your own words. I love how Dana said, good, Donna, I'm glad. Please do. I want to see you win, girlfriend, 100%. And I'm just spewing what works for me, and I've earned annual mentor for the past 3 years because this is what I do, you guys. I'm not bragging, I'm not boasting, I am simply sharing what I do so that you can win too. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, please go into other people's lives and trainings and pull what works for you 100%, because hey, it is what it is, right? Okay, so if they say I don't have time, if they say I don't have money for a kit, if they say I don't know a lot of people, if they say I'm not a salesperson, if they say I'm too shy, I don't know if I said that already, have those packets ready, okay? If you haven't seen Dana's post, go through here, the Alaskan Adventure group page, and look at what she did. It's brilliant. I would usually just come up with a text or something to counter it, respectfully, of course. But I love the packet idea. I love the fact that we can actually get something into their hands that they can sit down and read and be like, oh, okay, she's not just texting me about this. This really makes sense. I love that. If you haven't done it, do it. I'm actually going to start doing the packets too. I also make a no strings attached packet. Okay, so sometimes I'll post on social media, and this goes hand in hand with what I'm going to talk about next. I'll say, hey, have you ever thought about jumping in and being your own Scentsy gal? If you'd like more information, let me know. It's free and there's no strings attached. Okay, so they love that. As soon as you say, because nobody wants to be hounded. Have you guys ever been hounded by anybody that you've expressed interest into a product, into a link, or into anything, and they hound you like a dog afterwards, and you're like, oh my God, like, okay, I just hearted it, right? And now I'm being hounded. No, let me send you this packet. Once you send them the packet, give them a couple days to receive it, and then say, hey, Kathy, did you receive, I just wanted to check back in to see if you got the packet, the no strings attached packet. Oh yes, I did. Okay, great. Let me know if you have any questions. I leave it alone for a couple days, right? Then a couple days later, I'll say, hey, just checking in. Want to see if you have any questions about the packet. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. if they say no, I kind of put them I just leave them on my list of 100 or your dream team list, whatever you want to call it. And then I'll touch base with them subtly throughout the months. Okay. Because maybe they're just not ready yet. And if that packet doesn't flip a switch and they don't still want to ask me questions, then I have to be okay with that. And I'm not rude about it. Right. Okay. Also, when I get home, I'm going to show you guys these. Every single order that goes out with your current customers, I don't care if you've already talked to them about joining. I don't care if they said no, thank you. I don't care if they said not right now or they've ignored you when you've asked them about the opportunity. Every single order that we send out needs to have an insert of some sort about the opportunity. When I actually have it, do I have it in my phone? I think I have it in my phone. If not, I'll get it from my page. It says you would have made this much off of this order. Okay. So if their order was $50 and it's, or I'm bad at math. I'm just going to throw out numbers. It's probably going to be wrong, but it is what it is. I'm just trying to give you an idea. So say their order was $50 and they're going to make 20% back because they're a new consultant. It would say, thank you so much for your order. Did you know you would have made $25 off of this order if you were a consultant? What are you waiting for? That's one of the images I have. Okay, and I insert that with every single order. I don't care if they ordered from me 10 times that week. They're getting 10 inserts because guess what? They're going to be like, oh, I would have earned $7. That's cool. Oh, I would have earned $13. Okay, that's cool. Or it's going to click. This chick is, all of these inserts that she's giving me, I would have earned over $100 just from my orders. If they're seeing it in front of their face, it's going to click. Okay. And then every 6 months, every catalog change, I go into my customers' orders. That's why it's so important to make sure that you get their information under their contact information. Do not be entering all of your customer orders under your name, because then when it comes time to do something like this, you cannot do it. Put their orders under their name every single time, right? So then every 6 months, I'll go to these people when they order and I'll write them a Scentsy check. It's a blank Scentsy check. And I say, I total up what they ordered, right? Then I divide that by 20%. If it hits over 1,000, I do 25%. Okay. And I'll say, you would have made this much in 6 months. And I write them a check for $238. And then I sign it. And then on the bottom, it says Scentsy commission. It's that pink little check. I don't know if you've seen it floating around, but I will also upload it here. You guys, once people begin to realize how much they are spending, they're going to be like, shoot, I really need to join. I could have had all that money in my pocket. Yes, girlfriend, boyfriend, you could have. I'm trying to tell you something, okay? They love them. Like, oh my God, Rihanna, you're killing me with the commission check. Can I really go cash it? They're joking, of course. But make it fun, make it interesting. Take the ickiness out of recruiting by making it fun, making your packets fun, making your inserts fun, okay? And I'm going to show you those. I'm gonna look in my images and see what I do have, and I'll upload them then. Once I sit down at the field. But also when I get home, I'm going to show you my physical packets, because yes, I have them made already, because I'm prepared and I practice what I preach and I lead from the front. If you are going to get a team, let me just say this, lead from the front. Do not tell them to do something that you're not going to do. And that being said, let's go into the sponsoring part of recruiting. Okay. So you got them here now, right? Now what? You don't just throw them to the wolves. You need to train them. Right? You're not going to do it for them. You're going to train them. Do you have an onboarding system? What is an onboarding system, you may ask? I don't want to make it sound too complicated, because it's not. An onboarding system means, what are you going to do with them from the day they start? The first 70 days of their business, you guys, is the most important and can dictate if they're going to make it in this business or not. And it's our job, since they chose us, to make sure that they have a successful start. Okay? Can we force them? No. Can we give them the tools to use? Yes. Okay. So one of the very first things that I use for my onboarding system is called Project Broadcast. I am not going to go into how to use it, because it's a whole thing. I will, though, post how I learned through a YouTube link that, I can't remember her name. I don't remember her name, but I'll post the YouTube link that I learned from beginning to end. She walks you through how to set it up, and the generous directors and generous superstar directors share their Project Broadcast codes. What is Project Broadcast? It's basically a big text system that you enter pre-written messages for like onboarding or birthdays or anniversaries or all of this stuff, and you just put in their names and they send them on the dates for you. You don't have to think about it anymore. I've onboarded 2 people this month. Okay, so far what I do is I insert their name and their phone number, right? Boom. Then I tag them in my little onboarding campaign. It's called a campaign, and it has about 20 messages. I don't want you to get overwhelmed with what I'm saying. I'm not going to go into detail, but I want you to understand what Project Broadcast is. So if you're interested in something like this, you can watch the video. If you are not, then don't watch the video. Easy. I don't care. It will literally drip the campaign messages to my new teamies, and it's going to be talking about sensational start. It's going to be talking about shooting stars. It's going to be talking about shouting out to their friends. It's going to be talking about shouting out on social media. You guys, this is all detailed stuff that takes our time. Once you get a team size of 757 teamies and you're trying to welcome new teamies and all the stuff, and you're trying to build your business still, your frontline business, it gets a little much, and working smarter, not harder, is the way to do it in this business, okay? Absolutely, Amy. I will share that link. I'm going to move on. Okay, so within the first 20, I'm going to share with you guys what works for me. Your superstar director might do it different. You might do it different. Guess what? Do what works for you, but this is what works for me. If you do not have an onboarding system right now, you need to do it, especially if you don't have a team yet, or even more so if you have a team and you are drowning and you are being overcome because you don't know which way to go with sponsoring. You need to get a system in place now before your team gets bigger. It's not too late. It's never too late, okay? So within the first 24 to 48 hours of them joining my team, I want to talk to them. I want to do their initial training via Zoom, via phone call, via FaceTime. I'd rather do FaceTime or Zoom because I like to show them my screen and stuff, whatever. But if they can only do phone call, that's fine too. I do not want to text back and forth because that's too time consuming to try to train somebody via text. If that's the only way they can do it, then I drip them. They only get the drip, okay? Because I cannot be texting them 24 hours a day, okay? In this 24 to 48 hour training, I only give them the most important information in the beginning part of their journey. If we drown them in information, they are going to become so overwhelmed. For the most part, I would say 80% of people on this earth do not deal well with too much information. Some people thrive on it, like, okay, tell me more. But the majority of the people, they're coming in scared. They're coming in unsure. They're coming in like, oh, okay, let's give this a try. And then imagine you just spewing everything. Oh, and then there's the Alice Award. And then there's a shining star. And then when you hit this, and then the trip, and No. When we're onboarding them, when we get them in our hands within 24 to 48 hours, they're our babies, right? We do not want to drown them in information. We want to give them the basics. Again, this is just what I do. You can do something different if it works for you. I talk about Shooting Star, which, by the way, this month is humongous if they earn it within their first 15 days, okay? So I talk about that. First of all, let me back up. I ask them their why. What made you decide to jump in? And then they'll tell me, and I'll be like, the reason why I'm asking you, Kathy, is because when things get a little rough and because there's going to be some harder months than others, just being upfront with you, I want to remind you, remember you said, oh, I don't know if this is for me. Remember you said you want to earn a little bit of extra cash to be able to take your kids to the movies without having to worry about how much is in your bank account. Remember you said you wanted to go take your husband out to dinner on you because he works his tail off and you want to treat him to dinner. Or maybe it was because you wanted a little mommy money because you're a hardworking mommy, you're a hardworking full-time mom, or full-time employee, and you want to treat yourself to manicures and pedicures guilt-free. Remember, don't forget, I know it's hard. And I tell them that, so they're like, oh, okay. So when I do tell them that, I'll remember, girlfriend, and they laugh at me, but it is what it is. Then I talk to them about Shooting Star, and I say, is this something that you want to do? Because guess what? Just because it is a goal does not mean it is their goal. And that's very important. And this is why I think that my community thrives so much, my frontline thrives so much, is because I make it about them. It's not about me. Do we get $25 credit if they hit Shooting Star? 100%. But guess what? I will forfeit that $25 product credit to make my frontline, to make somebody that chose me feel comfortable that their journey is about them and it's not about me earning $25 product credit, because that will be gone in no time, right? Make them feel comfortable. And once they say, yeah, that sounds something like I want to do. Okay, great. Do you want to have a launch party? Let me tell you what your launch party means. Your launch party means you invite your people to your Facebook, or we could do it in person, whatever fits for you. I will do it for you. If you decide, that you don't want to stand up there in front of people, I'll do your launch party for you via Facebook or in person if you're local. And then I'll do a live product demonstration. You take notes while I'm doing this demonstration, and your customers are going to be educated and feel more confident in what they want to purchase for themselves. Okay, so then they're like, oh my God, yeah, that sounds good. I try to get that party schedule within that first week. Okay, it's Tuesday. Do you think that we can pull it off by Saturday and get some people on your Facebook Live, or get some friends over at your house? The sooner the better, right? Because if they see their friends excited, they're going to be like, oh shoot, I can do this. If they say no, they do not want to do a Facebook launch party, I say, okay, can I ask you why not? No big deal. I'm just curious to why, because some people might just be like, oh, I don't know, I'm scared, and you just may need to put them at ease. Or some will be like, oh, I'm not really trying to do that, so I'm not really, okay, no worries, no problem. I do not put pressure, okay? Do not put pressure, and I'm going to explain a little bit further along why, okay? And then I talk to them about certified, okay? So they're Shooting Star and certified. Why? Because certified is one of the next goals. And once they hit 1,000, I tell them about the pay raise, and challenge them, like, let's try to go get this within your first 30 days so you can get your first paycheck. We'll bypass the 20%. We go for the 25%, right? And they get out, oh, okay, that sounds like fun or whatever. Okay, great. After we've hit these goals, we'll talk about the other things. Those are the only 3 things I talk about, you guys, because guess what? Now they're thinking, okay, and I even tell them, and then, girl, once you hit Shooting Star, you're halfway to certified. And they think, oh, it's broken down. I can do this, 500 and then 500. I got this, right? Speak confidence into them. Okay, so I talk to them about those 3 things. Then what I do is I put a welcome kit together. You do not have to do this. In my welcome kit, I break down, and I will post screenshots of what I have in the papers that I have in my welcome kit. I also include the paper just talks about like my business hours. It talks, because that's important. If you haven't set business hours for your business yet, you need to do it now, because you may think that being on your phone and being accessible 24/7 is a good thing. And sometimes I did the same thing when I first started, like, oh, I have to text them back. Oh shoot, I gotta make their order. Oh God, You are creating a monster if you do not get your hours under control right now, because as your team grows, they're going to expect you to be at their beck and call, and this cannot be. Okay, as your team grows, it will drain you. It will burn you out. You will be on the phone during during movies with your friends and family. You will be on your phone with your kids while they're playing. Shut that down now. Okay, make your business hours. That's just another thing. I'll show you a picture of what I include in these welcome kits when I get home. I include a little sample of felt, and then where I get it from. I include a couple samples of the consultant store samples, and then I'll tell them where to go, Workstation Consultant Store. I include some candy, and I say, hey, you can throw candy in from Amazon, and I throw that in there. I include a Scentsy pen or pencil. I'm trying to remember everything offhand, but it's just something that helps them along their business, to show them, oh, this is a sample. This is where I get it from. This is where you can go look. Consultant Store has this. Amazon has these. So that way they feel comfortable, like, oh, okay, I can make samples. Like I've gotten samples from Rihanna. I wonder where she gets them. Here they are. They're right here. And it's just like a basic launch, and it's a welcome thing for them. Okay. And I'll show you the inserts that I put when I end this live, and then I'll show you what I actually put in my packet, because I have them made already. You guys, when we get new teamies, we're like, and you do something like this, and you're like, oh, I gotta make a kit now. No, make your kit the first of the month. Make your welcome kit the first of the month with all your inserts. So when all the teamies start flooding in, you just grab a packet from your bucket and you slap a shipping label on it, and off it goes. It makes your job more enjoyable, and you don't dread sponsoring because you're trying to do what you do for one, for all. Okay. That's a whole nother training. I'm not even going to go there. Okay. During so let me say this with the ones that we have right now, because this is part of it. We're not just talking about sponsoring new people and training new people. We're talking about this incentive. It's going to reward us for those that promote, regardless if they started August 1st and after. This is people that already exist. If they promote, we get sponsoring points, okay? And sponsoring points are hard to come by. So if we already have a team and we say they don't work, they're not doing anything, they're ignoring me, guess what? It's part of it. Don't take it personal. That's something I had to learn. Like, dude, like, how do you just ignore somebody's text? Like, how is that even like civil? Like, who does that, right? That was my personality because that's just who I am. But guess what? Not everybody is like that. And I used to think, like, at least say okay, or at least give me a thumbs up or a heart. You're just gonna completely ignore me. When we take ourselves out of the equation and stop making it about us and our feelings, this gets a lot easier, I promise you. So the ones that are not responding, the ones that are not working, the ones that you feel you have wasted time, let me say this. I'm not big on wasting time. Let me just say this first and foremost, because I don't want to confuse you. My pet peeve is wasting my time. Do not waste my time. That makes me very angry, actually. But hear me out. Somebody's situation, I need my air conditioner on. Somebody's situation may have changed within the last month, 2 months, 3 months. So this is what I tell my team. I don't care if they've ignored you for the past 2 months or 3 months. You reach out to them on the first of the month. Hey girlfriend, I'm just checking in. How have you been? It's the first of the month. Can you believe it? Hey, by the way, do you have any Scentsy goals for this month? If you do, I'd love to chat. If they ignore you, who cares, right? Then on the 15th of the month, hey, middle of the month, just checking in. How's everything going? I don't ask them about Scentsy because they already got my first of the month message, okay? So second week of the month, I'm asking them how's it going, because guess what? I have sent this type of message out to a lot of my teamies that have went ghost on me. And someone will be like, you know what, Rihanna, I'm ready to jump back in. I'm having a really hard time. I'm going through a divorce. I'm sorry I have ignored you. I'm sorry. And this is why I say, don't pressure your people. Remember earlier, we don't know what they're going through, okay? And something that's really big for me is when you get frontline, they have chosen you to be their person. We need to lead. I'm kind of taking a break right now from what I'm saying. We need to lead with head, heart, and hands. And what do I mean by that? We need to lead with our head, teach them what we know. We need to love on these people with our heart. And then we need to show them with our hands by leading by example. When we send this message on the 15th of the month, we're checking on their well-being. If they ignore us, oh well. If they come back and comment, then you say, you know, whatever they might be going through something. They might just say, okay, thank you. Hi, Hope. They might say, okay, thank you. They might say something different, but they will know that you have not forgot about them. They will know that you care, not just you're reaching out to hit numbers, okay? And then the last text I'll say, do on the last day of the month. Even if they're not set to fall off, you just say, hey, I missed you this month. Please let me know if there's anything that you need help with. I'm here for you. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know you're okay. Just okay, right? Teaching our teamies as well to do this with their group is huge. You will have a retention rate in your group that will be so successful that people won't want to leave your community because you care. And your whole community is like that, right? So don't forget about your current teamies. Yes, we need to work on getting new ones. 100% of the time we should be recruiting every single month of every single year. But don't forget about your teamies, because they count towards this Alaskan cruise as well. That's the underlying thing, let alone they're human beings that have chosen you to mentor them, even if they're ignoring you, right? Okay. Also, this is huge for me. When you are a sponsor, when you are mentoring somebody, you come to a point, if you're doing your job, where your cup is poured out, right? Stay learning, stay refreshing yourself. If your SSD does trainings, get on that training. If your director does trainings, get on that training. Go on YouTube, fill yourself with the trainings. Go on podcasts and fill your soul if you're a believer. If you are into podcasts talking about inspiration and motivation and business moves and stuff like that, go in and listen to that stuff. Put worship music on if you're a believer. Fill your heart, fill your spirit. Stay learning. If your teamies do not see you on trainings, number one, the respect level is not there. And this is my opinion, but I've been in leadership for pretty much all of my life. And people want to see their leader in things that are happening. If there's trainings and you're nowhere to be found and they're always on, they're looking, they see. They may not say something, but they see it, right? If you are going to tell your team to recruit, you better be recruiting. If you're going to tell your team to have 500 PRV or more, you better have 500 PRV or more. If you're going to tell your team to front load, you better have front loading. You better have some PRV in your bank, girlfriend, on the first of the month or by whatever date you're teaching them. I do not tell my team to do anything that I'm not doing, even if I struggle doing it. Like, for instance, I'm doing bag parties right now, and I have 11 catalog shares out right now, and that's never been my strength. I've never focused in on that. But guess what? This month, I'm focusing in on it, and once I kind of get the vibe that I want with everything going, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to share it with my team. I'm going to say, look, this is where I failed. This is where I struggled. This is where I succeeded. And this is my bread and butter. And any of this might work for you. Okay. Stay learning, stay teachable. If you have a leader that's trying to pour into your life, stay teachable. Please stop saying, I know, I already done that. I know. That's part of sponsoring, because guess what? You are going to create the same type of personality in your group, in your culture. You may be a lead. You may be a star right now and you don't have your own team page yet. But guess what? You're going to one day. If you want to hit director, or you're going on this Alaskan cruise and you're adding teamies, right? So your team is building and building and building. If you have a nasty attitude about learning, you're not present, you're never in trainings, guess what your team is going to look like? You're going to replicate who you are. You're going to duplicate who you are. Okay? They chose you. Don't forget that. Some are going to hit the ground running, and they're not going to need to hold your hand. Some are going to need you to go a little bit slower. But that's why we have to have this toolbox, you guys. That's why we have to keep mentoring ourselves and keep training ourselves and keep watching YouTube videos. I watch Chastity. I watch Chloe. I watch Wendy. I watch all these amazing people out there, because I want to stay learning and I want to keep adding to my toolbox, because something I may not have the tool right now that I will need to train somebody in a different way. Because like I said earlier, I'm a hard ass, and that's the way I used to come off to everybody, like just I used to use the hammer on everything. Some things need a screwdriver, some things need a wrench, some things need a saw or an axe. Everybody's different, you guys. The personalities of people are different. We need to learn how to train these people with how their personality is. Do you change who you are? No, you do not change who you are, but you need to be able to adapt to different learning traits, because not everybody is going to be receptive to, like, just get it done and stop messing around. That's my mindset, right? Just do it. What's the problem? Just freaking do it. I don't understand why you're not doing it. That's my mindset. Some people need a little bit more guidance. Do we want to hold their hand? 100% no, but we do want to be able to show them different tools to use. And guess what? We have to be patient. I am the worst person in the world with patience. You can ask anybody that knows me. I have zero patience. However, I have learned in my business that I'm going to have the sweethearts that are going to be like, Rihanna, I don't know. And before I would be like, what do you mean you don't know? I already showed you, right? That's my personality. But I have learned to be gracious. I have learned to be patient. I have learned how to direct where to go without sounding like, dude, like I already freaking told you this. I have learned how to word things, and that's important as a leader. Everybody's different. Okay? I want you guys to understand. Once you begin to sponsor, it becomes addicting. It becomes addicting. I don't know, whatever. You guys, I love to talk to people about it. Is onboarding work? Yes. Is recruiting work? Yes. But when I'm sitting on that Alaskan cruise and I'm sipping on my all expenses paid drink and dinner and all of the stuff, I'm going to be like, it was worth it. You want to be on that ship? You want your team to be on that ship? You want longevity in this business? You have to get this under your belt. You have to get the mindset and the lifestyle of recruiting and sponsoring. I want to see all of you guys on here. I want you guys on the Alaskan cruise to come up to me and say, hey, I was in that Alaskan adventure group and I earned the trip for me and my husband, and here we are. This is my husband. Nice to meet you. Or this is my daughter. I'm going to give you a high five, and I'm like, that's it, girlfriend. Like, this is one of many, or 10 of many, however many you earn. Claim it, Donna. I love it. I love it. That's all I have for now, you guys. I'm going to go through my my Facebook group once I sit and get situated for my daughter's games, and then I will post some of the images that I talked about earlier. And then when I get home, I will post the kits, the packets that I send to my people. Remember, you guys, be prepared at all times. If it's not ready right now, go get it ready. Throw the stuff in your purse, your backpack, your gym bag. And then once you get them on board, you make your system from day 1 to day 70. And you help those people succeed. You lead them to water, and you give them the tools in their tool belts. If they use them, that's on them, right? All right, you guys, have a great Thursday, and we will talk soon. Okay? Bye.